Hey guys!
Welcome back to the Red Hawk Talk.
It's Kaylee and Olivia, and we're here with a special guest today.
We are.
And she's very special because she stepped up for us on a last minute call, and we cannot thank her enough for showing up and being a part of this. So our guest today is the wonderful Kangela.
Hey everyone!
Could you go ahead and introduce yourself to anybody that might not know you?
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, I'm Kangela Guerreo. I'm 22 years old and I'm a senior here at Montclair State University, majoring in psychology with a minor in cognitive science. But a lot of you may know me as a college micro-influencer and content creator, not only for Montclair State University, but for the entire Garden State.
Okay.
That was
a good intro.
It makes me think back to like our first ever episode with our intros and just how like horrific.
Oh my god!
We would literally sit here and be like, I study.
I was the same too. Practice makes perfect. So
no, the sad thing is I did public speaking for 12 years.
I mean, you slayed that. Like, I don't know. You got it down.
Thank you.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, Kangela also is one of the hosts for Prize Ride, our very famous game show on the Red Hawk Life account.
Wait, should we say what you do in student communications?
Yeah,
Sure.
Kangela is a part of student
Yes,
communications.
I am. I just joined now my senior year. I have been asked for like the past year and a half to be a part of it. And I was like, you know what? It's senior year. Why not go for it? So I signed up for Hawk Squad and I just fell in love with Hawk Squad Team Rocky, Red Hawk Life, everyone in the student communications department. It's such a great community and there's a lot of opportunities to really grow and really just expand your brand, especially for someone like me who's a content creator and influencer, and it really helps you build your communication skills as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain? Because like we've talked about Hawk Squad.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we've ever done like a deep dive into what is in like what Hawk Squad does and like
Well, because we never had anybody on the podcast that was
in Hawk Squad.
Really? Because I'm in Team Rocky. We're obviously Red Hawk Life. But
so you're our first Hawk Squad.
I'm honored. Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully I give the description justice because I am still a newbie. But just a little bit about Hawk Squad and what we do. We really want to make sure that we highlight all of the organizations on campus, from events to sporting teams, events, and all that stuff. And everything, of course, is based here on campus. And really just being able to connect with other Red Hawks, give their events a spotlight, because, you know, some organizations, they're awesome and they're really out there, and, you know, some of them need that extra push, and that's really what Hawk Squad is there for. So we make sure to repost their flyers and, you know, highlight their events. And of course, us as Hawk Squad members, we like to go to these events too and have a good time. So yeah, that's a little bit about what we do.
What's your favorite event?
Oh my gosh, my favorite event, I love going to sporting events.
We were at the football game together.
We were. So one of the things that I've done with Hawk Squad is the Red Hawk mic, and it's basically a mic up.
Oh
yeah. So I've been seeing them around social media, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't we bring this to student communications? And I did it for the first football game with Eliza and Bree, and it was a hit. Everyone loved it, and then I mic'd up Olivia and mic'd up Autumn, and everyone just wants to get mic'd up and have a great time. But I think the sporting events have to be my favorite because you just see everyone coming out and having a great time. You get a Sprague Field Glizzy in there, of course.
I knew someone was going to say a
I
Sprague
need to
Field
plug
Glizzy.
something right now. The same football game, I'm going to look at this camera, the same football game that Kangela and I went to get, well, I mean, I was there for Team Rocky, but the same game that we were all there together. We walked up to the little food stand because, you know, we all wanted glizzies, right? And we walk up and Vanessa was there as well. You all rocking on the street, you should know Vanessa. Vanessa was there as well. And we walk up to get, you know, like 4 glizzies. Everybody wanted one.
Like one glizzy for each person.
They literally said, actually, we're going to give you all the ones we have left. And we left with 13 glizzies.
In a bag. I just distinctly took this picture in a bag.
We're going to put it up right here. We'll put it up somewhere. But we have an entire plastic bag of buns, and then they gave us all of the dogs in a little, like, boat container thing. Like, what are those dogs?
Yes.
Yeah. Crazy.
Insane.
Shout out to the football team. Like, who runs this next in? Like, parents, Who
No,
does that?
It's actually, I think, Venture.
Yeah, no, it is. It's Venture. Yeah.
Oh wait, I think that was in the mic'd up.
Yeah,
Yes,
because you guys were like, oh my god, Venture Cafe.
Venture Cafe is awesome. I just
It
discovered
is.
Venture Cafe this semester, which was
I took you.
yes, Kaylee took me,
Just got
which
to
was
point that
kind of
out.
bad on my part because I'm a senior. I should have known this already, but
Me too,
their
though.
mac and cheese apparently is all the rave.
I've never had it.
It's
Kaylee,
good.
I'm a senior.
Kaylee told me, like, Kangela, you have to try it. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So this was like probably.
I eat mac and
I
cheese
ate
at
mac
10
and
a.m.
cheese at 10 o'clock
That's
in the
like-
morning.
The kind of influencer
Dude,
I am.
my
Like
That's it. Kaylee influenced the influencer, so
like,
it was really good
My
though.
stomach isn't awake at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
For
I
all
was-
that dairy.
It was, oh my gosh, I was horrified. I was like, I don't know if I should be eating this, but
You better have
Kaylee
some
was
lactate with it, like,
Kaylee was right. Best mac and cheese I have ever had. Props to Venture Cafe. It was really good,
it's
honestly.
good. But you know what's even better? I've learned within the last like few weeks, Venture Cafe's breakfast sandwich is banging.
I've seen you get that a couple times.
It's
I-
That's what
so
she
good,
got when I went with her. She got a breakfast sandwich.
It is so good.
Yeah, Venture Cafe it's popping.
I love that they make the glizzies at Sprague Field. That makes me so happy.
They do. So yeah,
Is
Venture.
it the smoothie ladies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so
They
cute.
were such sweethearts. They were so nice. I remember
They're
going
the
back to
cutest.
Venture specifically for the mac and cheese, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the smoothie lady has to be here. But she wasn't there. It wasn't her day.
Oh.
So, but yeah, Venture, absolutely amazing. Thanks for influencing me, Kaylee.
No problem.
Speaking of influencing, I think we should get into really what that's like to be an influencer and a college student and
Yeah.
managing both.
I think it's fun to point out also that
I
Kangela is
know.
literally wearing her Clinique on campus.
yes. Yes.
Do you literally just tell us everything about being an influencer and how you manage that with school
Oh
and
my gosh.
everything else you do in your life.
Yeah.
I think a good place to start is maybe like how you got into it.
Yeah.
That's a really great question. So, influencing for me actually started when I was in high school. So I kind of go way back. It started when I was a junior in high school. I actually decided to take a marketing class as an elective. And the funny thing about marketing, it kind of goes into the entertainment industry a little bit. And
Yeah, it
one
does.
thing that a lot of people don't know about me, I am huge with the entertainment industry, and it kind of runs in my family a little bit. So, you know, when I went into this marketing class, my teacher, Miss Gito, shout out to Miss Gito, I still stay in touch with her to this day. I absolutely adore her.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so she used to work for Warner Brothers. And, you know, it was really great hearing her stories and, you know, everything that she's learned. And I was so fascinated by it. And we had so many opportunities throughout this class to present on brands that we loved. And one of them was Victoria's Secret Pink. And kind of not sad, but kind of a sad story. But so I actually presented on Victoria's Secret Pink. And one of the questions at the end of this project was, why did you choose this brand? And I went into in depth about how, you know, I've grown up, you know, watching the Victoria's Secret fashion shows, and, you know, my mom, she was wearing the Victoria's Secret sweatsuits and everything. So, you know, I grew up with it. You know, I grew up seeing the panty sales. Like, Mom, do you like this one? Mom, I love this perfume. So I was like, you know, I grew up with Victoria's Secret Pink, and I said during class, I'm like, my goal is to model for them one day. And I got laughed at.
Oh, not on anymore.
I got laughed at, and the ironic part of it is my junior year, I was chosen to be a campus rep, one of 4 in the entire state of New Jersey, and I ended up modeling for them for Montclair State University, and
Oh my
promoting them.
god.
So it was kind of a full circle
Yeah, I was
moment.
gonna say, it was a full circle moment.
Incredible.
It was a full circle moment. I started working specifically my sophomore year as a campus team member, but because of all the experience I built that year and also working with other brands throughout that time frame, I was able to boost myself up and automatically start working with them. So it all started from high school, really.
Do you think, like, people kind of laughing at you, taking what you were very serious about as a joke, like, do you think that impacted, like, your decision to be an influencer? Like, was that a push for you to do that?
It was definitely a little bit of a push. Not to sound crazy, but like, for me personally, it was like, oh, they laughed, but no big deal, you know, because I'm the kind of person that really just brushes it off. You know, I grew up in a household that was very big on, you know, if you can dream it, you can do it. You know, my mother always told me, you're the pilot of your life, and you can gear that plane of life wherever you want. And, you know, that not only just went for, you know, influencing, I didn't just impact it in that, it went into my academics as well. You know, I was very insecure in the classroom. But, you know, when I grew throughout high school, my senior year, I gained that confidence. And now here at Montclair State University, it's really been able, I can see that difference. You know, my confidence in the classroom is so much better, and it's reflected in my grades as well. So, you know, seeing that impact and that mindset grow throughout that time. And like you said, you know, that small moment that I still remembered, that I still remember to this day, it did give me that push. And it was like, you know what? Like, they don't think I can do it. Watch me. Right. And I did it, you know, and like I said, it started in high school, and from there on, I started looking out for these things, you know, and I remember my marketing teacher, Miss Gito at the time, she said, Kangela, just do it. Like, don't even think about it. And that's always been my mindset, you know, and I always say that to people who look into influencing and they come and ask me, they're like, what's your number one advice? Just do it. You know, you shouldn't even think about it, because you miss 99% of the opportunities that you don't take. So, you know, you really, really have to just go out there and do it. So just to go back to your question, because I know I've been rambling on a little bit.
No, you're literally so fine.
You know, it definitely did give me that push. And also knowing that they're watching, you know, and it could kind of, not in a way be like, haha, look, I didn't know. But it's kind of like, you have to understand, some people didn't grow up with that guidance that you know, I was given. And I didn't realize till later on, it's like, wow, like, this is crazy. Like, some parents aren't telling their kids these things. And so seeing that shift, I've had some people even from high school reach back out to me and say, Kanj, like, you really did it. And I'm so sorry that if I've ever said anything that was wrong or, you know, doubted you, because now you've inspired me in other aspects, whether it's academics, their career, you know, their college experience. So that was really moving for me as well.
Yeah. Wow. Honestly, I mean, no, because I totally have come from a similar place where, like, you know, in high school, you know, people telling you, or even not necessarily full on telling you, but just the way that it's implied and how they react is like almost like, oh, you're not going to be able to do something. And like, I love hearing stories from other people that are like, you know, you come from that point and then here you are 4 or 5 years in the future, however long it is, and you're actually there. And it's like, this is crazy, you know?
Yeah. But I love that this is also like all self-made. Like, you did this. Like, you are Kangela. Like, this is, like, you have literally like built your empire from like the ground up.
Yeah.
Like, you've
really
done this all on your own.
Yeah.
You don't have a manager or anything, right?
I don't. Technically, I consider my mom my manager. She's my momager. I call her my momager. She's
the next Kris Jenner.
She's literally the Kris Jenner to my Kylie Jenner. It's insane. But yeah, you know, just recently we were talking about it a couple months ago, because I just had this pivotal moment. I spoke about this on a podcast that I was a guest on recently. Just a couple of months ago, this past summer, there's been this shift where it's like, okay, my content is not what it used to be. Like, it's starting to, like, I'm writing this on resumes. I have to put price ranges on people, which is like insane. I have to read over legal contracts like 300 times. It's like, I'm like, Mommy, can you do this for me?
Can you make sure everything's okay?
Mom, can you please? And, you know, I'm working on a really big project right now, and she is just going full Kris Jenner mode. Like, I mean, seriously, I mean, from the wardrobe to the contracts, who do I reach out to? I mean, it's absolutely insane. So, you know, it definitely was self-made. Of course, with my mother's guidance, but she, you know, manager-wise, I'm going to have to say recently, my mom is officially like my manager for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, all self-made. I mean, it was a self-learning experience, and oh my goodness, the stories I have. But
how do you get all your, for like people who may be listening, who want to be influencers, how do you get all of your brand deals? Because recently you've done Clinique. I don't know if they're brand deals. Or are they brand deals?
Yeah.
Okay. You've had Extra Gum, Clinique. You were a pink ambassador. How are you getting all of these roles?
Yeah, or maybe like getting those first few, like to kind of start everything, because I'm sure maybe it was.
Yeah, like what was the?
I'm assuming a little bit, but
No,
a little bit of a domino, like kind of get the first few, and then here come the rest.
Yeah. So when it came to getting these brand deals, it all really started with social media. You have to make sure that you have a clear social media presence, and that takes time. I like to call myself a little bit of a rebel when it comes to social media, because if you look at my content, I don't have one specific niche or one different kind of one specific kind of content, should I say. I mean, I've done lifestyle, I do vlogs, I do fashion, I do food, I do motivational videos. I mean, it's so broad. But of course, if you're just starting out, just find something that you're passionate about and put it out on social media. My thing is about romanticizing a little bit of a life and, you know, just showing people like, listen, this is my average life. There's nothing special about it. Like, I'm no Alex Earl. With all don't get me wrong, I love Alex Earl. I love Monet. Like, those two girls, like, they're the total it girls. But I am not living in an apartment in Miami. Like, it's just not, it's not happening. But, you know, I'm romanticizing the little things in life. So that's kind of what my niche is about and I try to apply that in all different types of videos, from fashion, lifestyle, vlogs, etc. But when it comes to starting out with brand deals, after you've built that social media presence, I would say really start, just open your laptop, go on Google, look up college ambassador programs. It's even starting to go out to high schoolers now. I saw that there was a program now for high schoolers to work with Abercrombie and Hollister.
Oh my god!
I saw one.
Yeah. So they're starting to branch out to high school students now. So you can even start a lot earlier than I did. But also checking a lot of college agencies like Her Campus. Her Campus is my #1. That's how I got Clinique. That's how I've gotten Steve Madden. It's how I've gotten Batiste, Burger King, Grubhub, and you know,
oh my god! I need to see Kangela's resume ASAP.
Oh my gosh, my resume, I was thinking about writing it out a couple of days ago, and I'm like, I don't know where to start.
Maybe a little Canva presentation.
It's so difficult. I literally had to make a portfolio for a brand that wanted to work with me, and they're like, can you send us all the brands you worked with? I was going through my USB. This is how much content I make. I have a USB because not everything fits on my phone, and I had to go through each one.
Kangela, I didn't know all this.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can probably like list them like at the end of the video, like how many
like
I have.
rolling credits.
Oh my god, rolling credits. Please, if you have a list, I want rolling credits at the end of the YouTube video. That'd be hilarious.
I got you.
So for everybody that's just listening on Spotify, you're gonna have to jump over to YouTube to see the list of brands that we're gonna put in at the end.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But these brands came from Her Campus. Her Campus is my #1. I always recommend that. Another thing I've also seen, if you're lucky, some of these brands will reach out to you. I've had a lot of full circle moments where I've even had brands like even comment on my stuff. If you go,
Canes.
yes, Raising Canes literally commented on my video, and I responded to them I went to Times Square and I went to the Raising Canes in Times Square. So they haven't seen that video yet, so hopefully they'll see it soon. But yeah, like that's another. Speaking of that Raising Canes video, that actually wasn't sponsored. I was in Boston. I was dropping off my brother at Harvard, and I was like, you know what?
Olivia's like, oh.
Just a casual thing to slip in there. I dropped my brother off at Harvard.
My family and I went to drop him off for his freshman year. He's not a baby anymore. And we were in the area, and they have Raising Canes there, and I'm like, I've never been before, and I was like, you know what? Let's document it. So that's another thing. You know, if there's a brand that you love, just start documenting it. You know, just start pushing out that content. Just be yourself. And you know, these brands are starting to realize that, you know, social media is the new TV. It's the new billboard. It's the new, even the new commercials you see on TV. Like, you see influencers in these commercials all the time. So that could be you. But if you just have to just start going out there and pushing out your own content, even if they don't reach out to you. But if you keep doing that and produce it very well, then eventually those brand deals could come on the way. That happened to me with Pliables. So, you know, That's definitely my number one.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've locally been doing a lot of different things.
I mean, I can like really attest to what you're saying about like really like, you know, you're putting yourself out there and sometimes these brands will see that and they'll reach out to you. I had a very crazy experience about stuff like that.
Really?
That I never talk about.
Oh my gosh, I need to know this.
I need to know.
So I've mentioned this on the podcast, I think once maybe, like just, so I have.
I don't recall this.
Well, not this story exactly, but I have several chronic health conditions, and they started right around when I was finishing high school.
Okay.
And to cope with it, I went to Instagram and I had a whole chronic illness Instagram, and it was a very niche group of like people. The community is pretty toxic now, so I'm not in it anymore. But I was in it heavy, and I got a lot of brand partnerships through that account.
Awesome.
And my most notable was there was an accessible intimates company reached out to me, and I actually modeled for Target.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, I knew about this.
For this intimate company. So I mean, it was adaptable. It's adaptable intimates, not accessible, but they're all meant for people that have different disabilities. So like their bras, for example, they velcroed shut,
I love
or
that.
their underwear had like bra clips on the side so that you could get dressed easier. And that was nuts.
That's so cool.
That's a perfect example.
One of those moments where it's like I started this account with a completely different intention and it led somewhere totally different.
Oh,
that I never thought it would
so
go.
Cool.
That's the
So
thing.
it's really crazy how those little things can happen.
Yeah, and that's why I always said like I said in the beginning, you have to just go for it. Like we live in a generation and a society today where you can get these opportunities in a split second, but you won't know until you just go for it. And that's a perfect example of it. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I need to up
Girl,
my
listen to this
game.
podcast.
So I think the big question is, you know, you're constantly making content. Today you put out a video with your pretty little thing outfit.
Oh yeah, pretty
How
little
do you manage to edit all these videos, do your thing on campus? You're handing out Clinique products, you're doing this and that. How do you manage to do all that on top of schoolwork?
That's a really great question.
And also, may I add, you're an ambassador, so you have a job on campus too.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things to juggle.
So
Oh my
how do you
gosh,
juggle all of this?
That's a really, really great question. It's something that I've just discovered on how to fix now recently because, like I said, my content has gotten into a whole new level that it's become like a part-time career.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I'm even saying that out loud is absolutely bizarre. I never thought I would say, oh my gosh, like I actually have a job. Like it's part-time. It's a part-time job, you guys. But yeah, like to manage it, really just scheduling your time down to the minute. And I kid you not, I mean literally like, okay, I have this class from 9:45 to 11 o'clock, then 11:15 to 12:30. Then I have a blog for like an hour, edit for that hour for this specific brand. And another thing too is trying not to sign up for everything. I have had this issue since I was in middle school. Like I see an opportunity and I want to take it right away. It's literally
You're preaching to the choir right now.
No, it's literally so bad, and it's now I'm starting to see like, oh gosh, like I really like you can't do everything. Like as much as you really want to, like if you do it with a good heart, but either you sign up for everything and you do a sloppy job with everything, or you pick the top 3 that you like and do an exemplary job at it. So really just making sure that you choose the right brands to work with, and I can dive in a little bit more into that later on, but making sure that you pick the brands that you like the most and then go off of that. You know, I was reached out by so many brands this semester, more than ever, and I was like, oh my goodness, which one do I pick? So, you know, I just stuck with the ones that I knew I could handle as well, because these brands aren't just throwing products and content at you, like they are giving you a timeline as well, and then you have to send them the draft. If there's edits on the draft, then sometimes you have to go back and edit the draft or do the video all over again. So, you know, you really have to keep those things in mind. So, yeah, definitely make sure that you just schedule by the hour if you want, like literally a day in your life. Write it down and go by the check mark.
Yeah. So I think something, because I think we're definitely coming on time here a little bit. I feel like the biggest thing I'd want maybe as like a way to round things out is just what would be, if you could pick like one piece of advice to give
I was literally thinking the same question.
either somebody that wants to start this or just somebody that doesn't know anything about it, or maybe the people that are judgmental about it, if you could give one piece of advice or one, what's the word I'm looking for, one little note about it and like being an influencer on campus, what would that be?
Wow. Oh
Tough
gosh,
one.
that's a
Take your time,
really
take your
tough
time.
question.
There's one for last.
It's a really tough question. There's so many pieces of advice, but the number one thing is that it starts with you. The faith that you have in this, the hope that you have in this, it all starts with you. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. It has to start with you first. You know, don't start going on and seeing other oh, I should be doing it like her, or I should be doing it like this. No, you have to be your own person. Like, people come up to me on campus and are telling me, oh my God, aren't you the girl from this? Like, aren't you the girl from that? You know, I don't want to be known as, oh, she's like the Charlie D'Amelio of like the campus. Like, again, no like hate to Charlie D'Amelio, love her, but Charlie D'Amelio is Charlie D'Amelio. I'm Kangela Guerreo, and that's that, you know?
Period.
You know, you want to be your original self, but you have to have that faith. You
Yeah.
really, really have to, and work hard for it. You've got to work. It's not going to come to you on a silver platter.
No, it won't.
Wow.
So a lot of work, but it can be done. It can be done. Anything is possible. Anything.
I love your mindset.
I know.
think
I
it's great.
seriously think that the mindset you have is a big reason why you've been super successful.
Thank you.
And I think that, you know, it's if people were to take away anything from the video, it's really like your mindset is.
I
the
think
biggest
another thing to know is your passion. I see you not just like your own content that you're producing for your pages, the content you produce for the university, that you produce for Hawk Squad, that you produce for us for Red Hawk Life doing our
Oh my
podcast.
gosh.
Like everything you do, you can tell you put your heart into it and that you're passionate about it, and it's 100% you. You are yourself in Prize Red, on the Montclair account, in Hawk Squad, on your own account. Like you are you. You are Kangela.
Yeah, you have to be yourself. Like, I will be on every account and it's the same girl. You know, I'm not gonna have one face for Red Hawk Life, one face for Pliables, one face for Pretty. No, it's the same person. That's also very important advice. Just be yourself.
I love that.
That was so good.
That's a great episode. I hope everyone who listened learned some things. I learned some things.
Be your own it girl. Absolutely. Yes.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, Kangela, for joining us last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, we were gonna have you next semester, but you know,
thank you guys so much for having me. It was an honor.
it was great that you could jump on right away
Yeah,
today.
absolutely. I love these things. I love it. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you for letting us in on little tips and honestly maybe little secrets, but not really.
When I'm searching her campus tonight,
Make sure to set up a referral for me.
Y'all heard that in the podcast. If you're doing this, you better say Kangela.
Yes, absolutely. Stay
Kangela
tuned.
sent me.
Yeah, stay tuned. We've got some pretty good projects on the way, you guys. So
exciting. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for again listening or watching or both. Please do both. You know, there's certain things that you can only get by watching, not just by listening, and vice versa. So thank you guys so much again. I hope you all enjoyed listening to Kangela tell us all about being an influencer on campus.
Right.
Thank you guys so much again. And yeah, that's it.
All right.
All right,
Bye, guys.